Well, I made it to the Forest Apartments. This is where they're going to set off from with the South Australian run. Bikes, not at all clean. This is just on the way out to the Epic Centre just before we all form up. All shapes and sizes are here. Still the dignitaries leaving off over that side of the lot of motorbikes. Police Memorial. Here's all the bikes rolling in still. There's quite a few just rolling in. Look at that, they're still rolling in. More and more and more.
This is the 14th annual wall-to-wall Fight for Remembrance. My name's Scott Webber. It's my pleasure to be the MC for this afternoon's ceremony. Firstly, as I said before, I thank everyone who's been involved in this. Not only since the start, but just turning up today. I look out across this sea of riders, family, friends, supporters of the Big Blue family. It's quite clear to see that there's nearly over two.
Good afternoon. Friends, we gather here on sacred ground for police, and it doesn't matter what your home state is or where you are from, we are all here as one. We are here because we lost a loved one, a colleague, a friend, or we feel a little bit guilty because a tiny bit of luck one day meant that our own name did not join the other heroes on the wall behind me. In December last year, Constable Matthew Arnold and Rachel McCrow were ambushed and executed on a rural property in Queensland. Their deaths not only shocked every police officer and their families in Australia, but around the world. Today, Matt and Rachel's families, some have been able to join us here today at the National Police Memorial for the first time, and I know Matthew's parents are both here today. To the family of Constable Anthony Woods, who have friends here as well. It's a long way from Western Australia, and it's a massive challenge for them as Anthony was run down and trapped and pinned underneath the stolen car and murdered whilst he was effecting an arrest. You may not know these family members, but your presence here today has sent them a very strong message that the police family does not forget. Everyone here honours the sacrifice those young constables paid protecting our communities. All three were denied the opportunity to reach their full potential in their careers and in their lives away from the job. Their future was stolen. Their lives were tragically cut short. Families will forever feel the pain. The families of police often bear the burden of the job we do. When we leave for each shift, there is an uncertainty that the most basic of jobs could turn volatile in a split second or leave a terrible physical or emotional scar on their officer or loved one. It's also great that we have relatives of fallen officers who have been able to participate in this ride today. That means a lot to us. The location of the National Police Memorial, I think you'll agree, is fitting for the significance of the job police do around the country. And the design of this memorial today has some very unique features. The touchstones bear the name, rank, location of those we've lost. But on the car sections in the forecourt are words like pride, honour, value and unity. But it also acknowledges the grief from those left behind. To my right, there are sentences in a child's handwriting. It reads, "My mum is a hero. She was a wonderful officer and lady. My family and I are so proud of her and the job she did. We love her and we miss her very much." Just behind me there is another tribute. He was taken away from us much too soon by someone who could never understand or even know what love, loyalty and commitment are. Over the past few days, riding in from some of the most remote parts of the country and circling the street of our nation's capital, you have all demonstrated selfless commitment. There are around 2,000 wall-to-wall riders here, and I suspect a significant number of others who joined in for the last leg around Canberra because they were motivated to show they respect the job that police do. The wall-to-wall event is like no other in the country. There is nothing compared to the range of people who've travelled and the fact that they do it at their own expense. A chaplain commented the other day, the wall-to-wall is the largest memorial procession ever seen. Since the ride began in 2010, we have raised over $1.5 million for police legacies. That money will directly help the families of police who have been touched by tragedy. It looks like this year we will again top $150,000 in funds which can be shared to legacies around the nation. Thank you to everyone here for what you have done, because this is truly outstanding. There are currently 823 names on the National Police Memorial, and on National Police Remembrance Day on September 29, that number will sadly increase to 826. I think everyone will agree that is a confronting number. At the conclusion of today's ceremony, I encourage you to walk to the wall, find a name of someone you may recognise. Pause and say your own words of comfort. Then locate another name of someone from your state. Read the inscription. It may have been an officer as far back as the 1800s, and all pause for them. One thing we can never do is we cannot change the past, but what we can do is honour the memory and never forget the sacrifice our colleagues have paid. It falls on us to honour their service and their lives, no matter how many years pass. As we approach National Police Remembrance Day, I encourage you all to take the opportunity to reach out to each other, check in on how one another is going. That call, contact or chat could be just the last lifeline someone needs to get them through a tough patch. It's one of the unwritten things about the wall-to-wall, the mateship, the storytelling, the sharing experiences between current, serving and retired police that truly makes this event a healthy experience. It brings, as I've said, the currently serving, the retired police, loved ones and families together, which is really important because it lets families know that we as the Big Blue family will never forget their loved ones whose names sadly, that are on the wall, but we can recognise them and never forget them. I give you a commitment from my colleagues at the Police Federation of Australia and the Police Foundation that with your support we will continue to run and grow this event into the future and continue to ensure that we never forget and honour our fallen mates. I look forward to seeing you all here in 2024. I pray that no other name is added onto the wall over the next 12 months or into the future. So take care, look after yourselves, treat it today as in the spirit that it's meant. We remember our mates who are going to be on the wall, but as we say in policing, often we spend more time looking after other people than ourselves. So look after yourselves and your mates. Thank you everyone for making this a truly a memorable event, because I know it means so much to the families of the loved ones whose names appear on the wall. Thank you.
Well, that was the 2023 wall-to-wall service. This is why I have an orange bike. You can see them, they can just stand out. Jesus, just bikes everywhere. Alright, here we are, the day after our big ride. Me and Lenny have just come for a bit of a look-see at the memorial. Pretty touching. to be at, gives us shivers. Really don't want to be on this wall. Some of his mates have left a challenge.